Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Me Kevin Show. Today we're going to talk Tesla, Sweden lawsuit update, and the worker strikes Thailand factory. Elon's in Israel. Oh, we got a lot of juice to talk about with Elon. And is Tesla winning with the latest potential Fed flip? I got some thoughts on that. Pretty exciting stuff. What do we got today, Mikey? What's going on here with Elon? What's he doing in Israel? What's going on with Sweden? You know, the Sweden thing, I'm shocked that it's not in like bigger headlines. That there's more attention on the Sweden thing. What are you seeing?
Yeah, he's definitely in Israel today. I'm assuming for damage control.
Oh yeah, I have to say, proud of him though. Really happy for him. Like, good on you, Elon. That's like, if you make a mistake, and even if you didn't think it was a mistake, the best thing you could do is go over there and just shake hands with the Israelis, the Israeli prime minister, for goodness sake, and come with gifts.
Yeah.
What? Absolutely brilliant. And Starlink makes him powerful. Very powerful. I mean, Putin applauds Musk for how powerful Starlink is and not allowing Ukraine to use Starlink to basically attack Russia. Zelensky applauds Musk for allowing them to have internet in destroyed cities. Now, Israel is like, yes, we will be the ones who deliver internet back now that we believe we have Hamas under control, and we will do it with Starlink. You know, it's actually for sale at Best Buy now.
Starlink is?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Like I ordered I put a deposit on a Starlink, and I never ended up getting one. I don't know what happened. Like Elon probably just canceled my order. But anyway, yeah, I went to Best Buy, and they had a whole big display or whatever. Of course, it was sold out, but it was like,
Wow.
It was like $600 or $700 or whatever. It wasn't actually that bad. It was under $700 if I remember correctly.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I have some friends who are kind of over the middle of the United States who use it very effectively. Over here, it's going to be kind of crap because the population density is too much.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I want fiber too. Like here, right now in this studio, we have fiber optic. You know, we're like a gig up, gig down. Not going to get that in Starlink, not yet at least. But, I would rather take that than like any of the other crap that you get, like, 10 G or 10 megabits up and down that you get, with these glorified DSL connections.
$80 a month.
Total rip off. Yeah, it's like the phone service is better almost. But you're right. It is damage control, but he's smart. I mean, hop on the jet. And he's got $75 million, probably more, of advertising money at risk for Twitter. It's very important for his reputation. It's very important for Tesla that he clears the air, even if he's not at fault. That's what people say in fights too. Like, even if you're not at fault, clear the air. Don't let any potential inkling, like, well, what if he is an don't even let those things grow. So I think that was smart. What do you think?
I would agree with that, man. Nip it right in the bud. Like, don't let it escalate. Anyone who is a potential Tesla buyer, like, make sure they're on your good side. And especially he's already become political, like, just do the right thing. It's not that hard to say, oops.
Yeah, I really hope this almost marks like the oops that he made here, whether people think it's an oops or not, it clearly is an oops. And it's just the degree to which you think it's an oops. Him addressing it head on and handling it hopefully marks, okay, I don't want to have to drop everything I was doing and canceling all my appointments again to go to Israel to solve problems. Like, go fly to the other side of the world to go fix the poopy I caused. Hopefully, I'm actually kind of glad this happened, because hopefully it's like a bottom for him, where it's sort of like, I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to scale it back a little bit. And I know people are like, oh, but Kevin, like, he should be able to say what he wants. Say what you want, like, at home when you're drinking beer with your wife or whatever, right? But, as the CEO of multiple, 3, 4, boring, Twitter, Tesla, SpaceX, and whatever else he's going to, XAI, right? As the CEO of all these companies. Yeah, Neuralink, that's 6. As the CEO of all these companies, you have a responsibility to sort of just rock the boat a little less. So hopefully this marks that bottom. And if it marks that bottom, I'm actually optimistic. By him going there, to me, it was a signal that he was basically saying, I know I effed up. This is my way of fixing it, and I'm not going to do it again. And I'm really happy about that as a Tesla shareholder. I want to be really clear about that.
I agree with that, man. He wants to, per usual, Elon wants to solve everything. So he does actually want to help a little bit more with whatever he can. I have some quotes from their meeting, but they had like a 20-minute conversation, Netanyahu and Elon, on X.com. And he's going to be meeting with the president as well. Granted, the president has been talking about wanting to emphasize the need for combating basically rising anti-Semitism online.
Mhm.
But as far as Netanyahu, they did a few things. First, they walked through a kibbutz, their like little Israeli utopias, so to speak. They're like small communities where people are very communal with stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so one of them was attacked on October 7th by Hamas.
Terrible.
That's the same one that they were just announcing that a 4-year-old girl hostage was released.
Oh, she was taken from there.
She was taken from there.
Wow, see, that's symbolic.
They
right
made
there.
him
Elon
walk through
going
that.
there?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I mean, it's also great for Elon because it's like, look, like I wouldn't be here at it's basically going to ground zero.
Yeah, basically.
It's going to ground zero. And it's okay, sorry, keep going with the quotes. I find this so interesting.
Yeah. So he agreed with the prime minister of Israel that they need to destroy Hamas. The quote is, "Those who are intent on murder must be neutralized.
Yeah.
Then the propaganda must stop. They're just training people to be murderers."
Yes.
He also mentioned a few times that Gaza must be made prosperous.
Oh, 100%. Elon said this?
Elon said
100%. Because otherwise you'll have a power vacuum and it's like a cancer. When the host is weak, the cancer can invade.
Yep.
You need a strong host to fend off that virus, is probably a better word.
So if you can like destroy Hamas, so to speak, and if you can like make sure Gaza is a prosperous nation after that, make sure there's no other rise in some extremist. The last quote is, "If all that happens, I think it'll be a good future. I'd love to help." I don't know how he's going to help, but he'd love to help.
Yeah, and whether that's lip service or he legitimately means it, it's hey, nobody knows how to build tunnels better than Elon does.
He's built like 3.
True. They built like 3,000 over there.
Yeah.
Fair. But I think first of all, he's totally right. You have to rebuild. It's the same thing that's going to happen in Ukraine. And that's why you get like, the CEOs of BlackRock and all these companies going over there, because think about it. You're getting a country as a wedge deal, basically.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So it's harsh, but I mean, these are institutions that have to deploy billions to trillions of dollars. And I mean, is it really that bad of a thing? Like, I feel like it would be worse if a company like BlackRock wasn't wanting to help rebuild. Like, sure, they're going to make money, but somebody's got to do it, and somebody should be paid for doing that. I know that's not maybe I shouldn't say that because it's unpopular to say that today. It's unpopular to say anything positive about, BlackRock or Vanguard or whatever. I was really surprised by that, by the way. I didn't know people were really anti-Vanguard all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It took me totally off guard.
10 years ago, it was like Vanguard's the best way to start like a retirement account. They're safe. Their fees are really, really low. Now it's
they're democratizing finance was the thing, right?
And now it's like they're taking over the world and they're making houses expensive for you.
Yeah, it's really interesting because a lot of what you're hearing too is this idea that, Vanguard controls all your votes for the ETF shares. And it's like, well, you can still, delegate your votes. But either way, it's really interesting to me that, and most retail doesn't vote anyway, but it's fascinating to me how it's almost like society's going anti-capitalistic, probably just because it's a tough time. It's a recessionary time. Prices are up. Wages don't feel like they've gone up as much as they should have. And so there's a lot of pent-up frustration, and it's easy to take it out on these bigger companies. But anybody who starts a business, a small business or whatever it is, anyone who starts a small business wants it to be big. That means you're a success. You made it, but now those are all hated. Yeah. So it's very bizarre. It's changed a lot. I don't know.
There's some level of like reflection that's happening there, which I think is a good thing. Like, let's look at some things that don't work well. Let's see if we can come up with a better system, even though we haven't found one yet. Yep. It's just people are going very, very extreme. It's always that pendulum, right? People get really extreme with the capitalism bad. It's like, okay, but what's good? Is there a good one?
That's a good point. It's like, which system of government is good then? Speaking of system of government, I saw, and I took a screenshot of it. There was someone, I believe in Israel, that suggested Elon Musk needs, here it is. Musk is not just a player that should be regulated by the American government. He's a global order player who should probably have a seat at the UN Security Council, said a senior fellow at the Israel Democracy Institute. Elon Musk can simply shirk his responsibilities, and that's because of his powers. In other words, he's so powerful, they're saying in Israel. Elon's such a powerful man with solely Starlink that he should be part of the UN Security Council, almost like a country himself.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah, that's like, wow, okay, yeah. So, which kind of makes sense why every country seems to roll out the red carpet for him when he shows up. And I think you mentioned Thailand just did too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they had Thailand's leaders came and visited the Fremont factory earlier this month. And it was really interesting because this was the prime minister actually of Thailand was there. And he expressed interest in having more Tesla presence in Thailand. And it seems like he might be getting his wish because in a recent interview, he said that Tesla leaders are coming, I think he said the 26th through the 28th, which would be today.
Oh, Tesla leaders are coming to Thailand.
To Thailand.
Oh, so he's halfway there. If he's in Israel, he's actually probably more than halfway there.
So maybe he'll also swing by then. Yeah,
that's
just true.
Do the whole lap. You may as well.
That's true. And they're looking into the possibility of investing $5 billion into a factory in Thailand.
Tesla or the country?
Factory.
Tesla factory. Who's doing the $5 billion?
Yes, Tesla investing $5 billion in Thailand, and Thailand's stoked about it.
Well, a lot of the countries, what they're doing is they're like, we'll match you like 30% or whatever. And so you get an extra, like, I mean, that'd be an extra $1.5 billion. I mean, hell yeah, take it. Why not? But the question is, every country seems to be doing this now. So now it's kind of like, which country do you want to be in? Because they'll all print money for you.
I'm trying to think of the benefits of doing it in Thailand. I guess like East Asia, but without having the Chinese Communist Party kind of having their hand in the jar.
Yeah, because I've been saying this for about a year and a half, and it has not had a lot of reception. People haven't loved the idea of it, but I still believe buy the dip on China for Tesla. Like, go build another factory in China because they will roll out the red carpet for you. They will get your factory built 4 times as fast as you can build it in Germany or Texas. If anybody stands in the way, like, what about the water? You're dead. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but like it gets done, you know? I mean, they are a country that's facing deflation. They are exporting deflation to America. So is Germany. And that to me seems like a great place to go and, create jobs and have cheaper cars being built. The problem is it's nice to have the cars being built close to where they're being delivered. So that's why Mexico is supposed to be desirable. But
true.
I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I think what they're trying with Thailand, and I don't know much about Thailand's economy or anything, but I think what they're trying to do is get a lot of the benefits of building in China, except for without putting all their eggs kind of in one basket.
That's probably a good point. Yeah, diversify a little bit. So because if the government gets too powerful, and let's say Tesla's producing 4 million vehicles, but 50% of those are in China, now China's kind of got you, by the cojones.
Do you remember that the Chinese protester in 2021? Forgot her name, but the lady who was talking about how her dad was involved in an accident with the Model 3 because the brakes didn't work, and she was showing up to all these auto shows, standing on the Teslas with signs, brakes don't work, brakes don't work.
She went to one, there was an auto show where there was a Tesla, and she had the sign, right?
Yeah.
She's standing on it, screaming that the brakes don't work, which was, the mainstream media loved that. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, like people are so mad at Tesla, they will go make signs in protest.
Yeah, and then the police arrested her. They're like, oh, they're trying to silence her for speaking the truth. Yeah. Well, there's an update to that story.
Oh?
Yeah, so this happened 2 years ago, and then things went into court, and we haven't heard much about it.
Yeah.
We know that she refused to have any third-party investigation done on the car to see if the brakes actually worked or not. She just kind of wanted to protest. So Tesla had done something kind of unprecedented for them, which is share all the data of the crash, all the logs, and basically found that it was entirely user error. Like they said, he applied the brakes, but not enough. He just tapped on the brakes.
Interesting.
And the car safety features actually kicked in and depressed the brake all the way to prevent the accident from being worse than it actually was.
Wow. So the car actually helped more than the user did.
100%.
Wow.
So the case was ruled. It's in favor of Tesla, and I have some of the fees over here to share with you.
Oh yeah.
So she had to take down all the social media posts that she made about this.
It just sucks though, because like all of her stuff went viral 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares? You take it down now. The damage is done.
Yep.
It's kind of like somebody's like, oh, like Tesla's a fraud or whatever, and then it takes 2 years to litigate. Well, the damage of that claim is done, even if it's totally fabricated.
Let's see if you agree with the punishment here. So she does have to take back the posts. She has to write a public apology to Tesla and pay. We have a few different fees here. Number one, covering damages is 2,000 yuan, which is $280. The legal processing fees was another 25,000, basically $3,500 in total. In USD, she's paying about $6,700 for the whole thing.
Wow, that is not even enough for a retainer for an attorney to pick up the phone for you in America. And her total fines are $6,600. That's insane. I mean, like CZ, for example, he just from Binance, he just got what was his bail? It was like $150 million or whatever, and he was trying to get back to the UAE. Because what his intention was like, hey, can we basically get Binance off the hook, keep Binance operating, get him into compliance, then I'll go dip to the UAE and I'll never come back for my sentencing and go to jail. Now that he's here, because in their little plea agreement, they're like, oh, yeah, he could go back or whatever. The courts are like, no, you're staying. It's like, oh, this is going to be entertaining.
I was just thinking earlier, you made the comment about this might be the bottom for Musk.
Yeah.
And you might be right. As far as social stuff, him being in Israel now, as far as the lawsuit in China, that's looking up. He's got Sweden. I got Sweden updates.
Oh, yeah.
So you remember there was obviously the whole thing with those strikes over there in the workers union, the labor union.
Well, yeah, we talked about this in the last pod too, where basically, I mean, dock workers are refusing to unload the Swedish Teslas. So then they're trying to bring them in through the docks in Norway. And then Norway's like, well, these are Swedish ones. We will not unlock those either. Or undock, whatever. I don't know why I sound like a broken German. Yeah. But anyway, okay, all right.
So Tesla filed a lawsuit against Sweden's transportation agency, and this was due to the strikes coming from the agency because they were effectively blocking the delivery of new license plates, which means people can't get their cars registered. Because apparently the Swedish transportation agency has a contractual obligation with an entity called PostNord Services, and PostNord workers were part of the strikes. And so they're going, okay, well then transportation agency, find a different way to get the license plates to people. Like, we can't, we have a contractual obligation with them. So, and I mean, it's beyond license plates. Like even their mail's not getting delivered, right? They're just refusing to send anything to Tesla.
Wow.
So Tesla sued them. And the update is that the court in Sweden ruled that the transportation agency has to find a way to get those license plates delivered within 7 days, or face a fine of 1 million Swedish crowns, which is actually only like not even $100,000.
Wow. See, why is that fine so much disproportionately larger than the lady?
Right, yeah.
with the brake fraud. 1 week, 1 million Swedish crowns. 2 years of fraud, $6,000.
Yeah. And say sorry. You got to say sorry.
Well,
these guys don't have to say sorry.
The value of the apology, maybe that's what we're forgetting to calculate here. Okay, so this is actually good news then. So this means that the court sided with Tesla, which means Tesla, because people were starting to get worried here that, oh no, if collective bargaining wins in Sweden, then that's going to spread like a virus. That'll be the fuel that gets the UAW to wet their pants. I mean, to get other people in a union, whatever. Yeah, so that's dead now.
Yep. Obviously, there's still like the litigation still happening in the back. There's still some legal stuff happening, but in the meantime, they have to deliver the license plates. And at the end of the day, that's all Tesla cares about.
Yeah, it looks like it's an injunction. Yes. So basically, if there's an injunction, it's basically like, look, while we dispute this, you have to keep delivering license plates. So Tesla basically wins, and now they can drag out a lawsuit for 2 years. The worst case would be the opposite, where the lawsuit goes on for 2 years and they don't have to keep delivering. Anyway, those will be some cars that'll probably be getting kicked and dented and scratched and keyed. I mean, I hate to say it, but there'll probably be some bitterness.
Of course there will be. Insurance will take
dropped it.
Into the ocean, whoops.
We'll crane it out and then deliver it. See, we delivered it.
So, regarding the Super Bowl, that's coming up. GM is pulling from advertising. They're not going to advertise this year. They usually advertise.
GM's pulling their Super Bowl ads?
Yeah, they're not going to be advertising the Super Bowl in February.
That's interesting. And I wonder, I do recall now the prior few years that the car companies advertised cars and Tesla didn't at the Super Bowl. Searches for Teslas went up.
It's true. So I was actually going to ask you, do you think this is a good opportunity for Tesla to take their spot, so to speak, and advertise? Or do you think there's no point since their searches already go up as is?
I don't know. Elon's too proud, I feel like, to advertise. That would be pretty badass to run a Super Bowl ad. Like, literally, he doesn't even have to say anything. Just put like a picture of the Cybertruck. You know?
Or what if he lets somebody on, like, I think Usher's doing the halftime show. What if, like, he showed up in a Cybertruck?
Ooh, see, that would be good if you can get it placed with the halftime act. I mean, that's like, I feel like that's almost like cheating because it's like you're not paying the $1 million for the 30-second ad, which is probably
It's
like
like 7 million.
7
7
now?
million, yeah.
Okay, I'm dated with that. So it's 7 million for the 30-second spot. You get Usher to do it, it probably costs zero because Usher's probably like, hell yeah, I get to ride out in a Cybertruck, you know? That's good idea. That's a really good idea. They should definitely do that. They should also cut the price of FSD. And I like FSD. You like FSD.
I like it.
Oh,
It's
like
$12K now. They did cut it a little bit from the 15K.
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. But more.
It's too expensive.
5. Because the resale values maybe 3. Like, at least when you look at used cars, it seems like the ones with FSD sell for about 3K more for a similar model. So we got to get closer to that because otherwise some people are paying 12 now and they're getting something that's worth 3. It's like, oh crap, that's 75% depreciation right away. You know, that's a pisser.
It's yeah, the FSD I've noticed always sells for more than it's worth. When I got my car, FSD was selling for I think 8K at the time. And I remember thinking like, well, Elon always tweets before it goes up in value. So next time he tweets that it's going up, I'll go ahead and buy it before he does that.
Ah, that's a good point. So he's always had a tendency to tweet before.
Yeah, historically he always did. So when he said, hey, we're pushing
prices going up Friday kind of thing.
Yes.
Kind of like the cyber coupon code. Oh, well, that's today. Today's Cyber Monday. I thought we were Black Friday. Today's Cyber Monday. Go to meetkevin.com to learn about the gold course. It's live, by the way. I think I'm on, what did I say? Like 2.5 or 3 hours of sleep. I got everything done. It's over 10 hours of content. It's amazing. Go to meetkevin.com. If you're an existing course member, you can email us. We'll bundle you up. staff@meetkevin.com. We really want to take care of everyone. And I think the value y'all are going to get is tremendous. It's some of the best content I've made. I'm really excited about that. So, but sorry,
you were really excited when I came last night. You were filming until 3:30. You're like, I'm just powering through. This is great. I'm going to get it done. Like, yeah.
I crashed hard. Like all of a sudden it was like, I'm going. And then it was like,
and then you napped for a couple hours and got up and here you
the
are.
live stream. That's true. 5:25 market open live stream. Make sure you're there, by the way. It's on the Meet Kevin live channel. My dad yesterday, he's driving my black X and I'm in it too.
Took your X out for a ride?
Yeah, we took our X out for a ride. And he's like, oh, you know, I miss you doing those market open like live streams you did in the morning. I'm like, bro, it's on the Meet Kevin live channel. He's like, oh, I had no idea. I'm like, you're my dad.
That's funny. So the when he tweeted a couple of years ago that the FSD value is going up from 8K to 10K, I was like, all right, I'll finally buy it. I paid 8K for it. And my thinking was as autopilot or FSD gets better, eventually it will be worth 8K.
Right.
And now here we are a couple of years later and
it's not.
It's still not worth it.
No. And like, please don't get me wrong. I love FSD. I use it all of the time. I am exclusively driving on FSD 99% of the time. It's fantastic. It makes driving great again.
Mada. I don't know if you can relate to this, but like when you first turn it on, it's a little like, oh, it's a Jesus take the wheel moment. It feels kind of scary to let go. And then after you've been driving for a couple of minutes on FSD, disengaging it is scary. It's like, what do you mean I'm in control of this thing? That's terrifying.
That's such a good point. I was driving Lauren's car the other day. I don't even know why, but I was driving her car. I think I drove it to, where do we go? Like Dave and Buster's or whatever. So I'm driving her car and I'm going down this one-way road and I'm holding the steering wheel and I'm like, oh, those cars on the other side, they're close. I'm in control.
It's a scary feeling.
It's like totally flip-flopped now.
One day we're going to look back and be like, dude, people used to just control these things at 70, 80 miles an hour. That's crazy.
Yep. Because at least when you're on FSD, like I'll still on the one-way roads kind of put like my fingers over the edge so it can't like jerk to kill me. Not that it ever has, but it gives me that double comfort. But it's like 2 of us driving. Now, like when I go in Lauren's car, I'm driving alone. I'm like, what is this?
Okay, so as far as Super Bowl ad, you don't think it'd be worth it to do a commercial? Or thinking more of like a halftime thing? It'd be $7 million for a 30-second ad plus whatever they pay for, like the person they're going to have on the commercial, whatever celebrity they choose. But 100 million plus people see it.
That's true. I wonder if the ADL is going to run an ad. Just put up Elon's tweet.
Oh no!
Oh, that would be the nastiest thing they could do. Take him at his low. But take him at his low and plaster that up at the Super Bowl. That would be disgusting.
Yeah.
But they might do it. I don't know if they have the money to do it. They might. See, the thing is, because of Elon's tweet, the ADL probably got more funding. That's the other thing you have to consider. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll do it, but
I don't think they will either.
That would be the I don't know. That would be like a stab. That's like kicking someone when they're down, when they screwed up. That'd be pretty messed up. But anyway.
Okay. Well, right before I move on, just because we've been talking business, there's one more business thing I want to show you. And it's regarding Andrew Tate. You've questioned whether or not he's actually a billionaire, right? If he's
not 100% not.
Well, I've got some tweets to show you here. I got one actually. Show the screen.
Oh no.
Case closed. Mic drop. No context. I just got this push notification on Thanksgiving. Just boom.
What currency do they use?
Yeah, right.
He's in Romania, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so $1 to Romanian Lao. Oh, it's only 4.5 or so to one. Okay, so $1 billion divided by 4.54. Theoretically, that would be the equivalent of $220 million.
He also doesn't have that.
I don't think so. I don't have $220 million.
But I had to show you that was hilarious. I saw this. I was like, dude, Kevin's gonna love this. That was Thanksgiving.
But people believe this stuff. It's mostly, I feel like, young kids though. Not actually our audience. What do we say? We have more people who watch our content who are over 55 than who watch our content who are under 24.
Yeah, that surprised me to find out.
That surprised me. I didn't even know. I mean, it was there the whole time. I just didn't look. And then I'm like, oh, this is why people get mad when I make the younger stuff.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, all I did was film, actually, because the entire family was sick, which was actually terrible for them, but like great for me having to get the projects done, because I felt no guilt of not being around them, because it's kind of like, well, I don't want to be around you because I don't want to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'll go bang out all these projects. See, I was going to get all the gold courses done by January. And when they got sick, I'm like, everybody's gone. Everybody's gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have 4 days. I could just bang it all out right now, and then I don't have to worry about it for Christmas. I'm so happy I did, because now I'm like Christmas spirited. I'm like, I'm done. I finished. I feel so happy. So yeah,
you're chilling. Did you buy anything for Black Friday?
I bought nothing.
Wow,
absolutely nothing. I was going to buy. This sounds ridiculous, but because it is ridiculous, I was going to buy a giant pole that comes down from the ceiling. Not to dance on it, to hang a monitor on it, not to watch pole dancing, to hook up Rust to it, to where it's hanging over the walking treadmill. So that way, if I want to play the video game, I must be on the treadmill.
That's funny. Map it to the walking control. So like, if you want to run in Rust, you have to run in real life.
That'd be amazing.
Dude, Black Friday was a huge success this year, man. Record $9.8 billion spent on Black Friday this year.
It just blows my mind that people still have all this money. I mean, even when you look, you got written down here 7.5% up year over year. Inflation year over year is like 4%. So you can't even just blame inflation. That's just straight up.
Yep. I don't know if people have the money, because buy now, pay later is up 72% from last year.
Good point. Touche. And a firm today was up 12%. It's up another 2% in after hours. Yeah. A firm is back nearly in the 30s. It's crazy. It was all the way down at $8 because everybody thought we were going into recession, including me, and that they would go bankrupt because people would BK on loans that they took through BNPL. And why would you pay it back? The only reason you pay back a BNPL loan is so you can get another BNPL
one.
loan. Yeah, that's it. Because otherwise, they're not going to come take your crap back. They're certainly not going to take your airplane trip or your vacation back. They're not going to come get your Peloton. There's no recourse. They don't care, because they just package the loan up and they sell it to some hedge fund that's like, on paper it says that we're going to get a 15% yield. Oh, a bunch of them, 15% of them defaulted. Okay, I guess we got, a 13% yield. They don't care. So like, it's so weird. Basically, what you're doing is you're democratizing defaulting. You're democratizing not paying your debts back by spreading it out over pension funds who want a little bit of a premium, and a firm's winning.
That was my hope. I think we talked about it last week, maybe before that, where just our thoughts for how the end of the year is going to end. And I was thinking it's going to be a strong holiday season. I was like, the consumers aren't going to let me down. They're going to spend money they don't have, and I think we're going to end up strong.
Yep. Yeah. I went to Best Buy last year, Black Friday, around 5-6 p.m. I went to Best Buy with Jack. This year, I did the same thing with Max. Last year, the shelves were overflowing. This year, like 30% of the shelves were empty. And the store felt as busy, or if not slightly more busy than it was last year. And so just walking through Black Friday, I'm like, okay. I should have bought calls on Affirm. See, that's what I should have done.
It crossed my mind, not gonna lie. I didn't, but it crossed my mind.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, you would have had to have been pretty fast because you would have had to have executed this morning, and the stock basically started skyrocketing the first right away.
I was thinking about it last week before I went for my 11-hour drive home through traffic.
On FSD though.
On FSD.
Yeah.
But yeah, in person, 2.5% increased, like people walking into the stores, and then a bunch more online. Over half of Black Friday purchases were made on mobile devices. Or in my case, they were made for mobile devices because I have a new phone.
That's true. Finally a blue text.
Nope. Upgraded from the S22 to the S23 Team Android.
It's very nice, I have to say. I felt that large black object. Man, that was nice.
Moving on. So, you want to cover some Israel stuff? Because we do have updates today.
Yes.
So obviously the hostages have been getting returned. Update on the hostage situation. And as of today, they've announced they're going to be extending the ceasefire.
Oh, thank God.
It's just going to be 2 more days.
Yeah, but hopefully they keep kicking it down the road. 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. And eventually they just get their act together and end this. Because it's just so devastating seeing what's happening. I mean, on both sides. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, it's actually, Israel hasn't commented on the extension. They've mentioned before this that they would be willing to do a ceasefire for up to 2 days, up to 10 days total. So I don't know if they're necessarily going to keep prolonging it over and over. In fact, they actually are talking about as soon as the ceasefire ends, they're going to demolish Gaza. They're going full force.
Oh, wow. Who said that?
So I have a quote from the defense minister of Israel, who says that when Israel returns to fighting Hamas in Gaza, it's, quote, its strength will be greater and it will take place throughout the entire strip.
Sure. I mean, in a ceasefire, you do also give both opposing military sides the opportunity to reposition, re-strengthen, regroup, move weapons, and prepare for the next phase.
Yep.
Now, it looks like there's still somewhere around 100 different hostages that could be 170 hostages actually still in captivity. I think what Israel was saying will give you a day per 10 you release or something like that.
That's what they were saying, up to 10 days. But it's interesting because Israel's been returning Palestinian prisoners as well. Far more. It's a ratio of about 3 Palestinians released for every 1 Israeli that's been released.
They must have. I wonder how many Palestinians were taken prisoner by Israel then. I wonder if they just have 3 times as many.
Yeah, I don't think this is since the conflict started. I think this is just they have Palestinian prisoners.
Yeah. Especially since when we look at the abduction of Israelis, that basically stopped after the 7th. And then because then all of the fighting moved over to Palestine. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, that is interesting. And I think that 4-year-old was what's it called? An American citizen, actually.
Dual American. Yeah. They've been releasing. I don't think they released any men this time. I think all the hostages have been women and children, and presumably their husbands and fathers are still in Gaza being held captive.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so this is good news, though. I mean, we like the geopolitical tensions relaxing. You've got on the bond front, looks like the 10-year is sitting at 4.4, and oil was pretty stable today, back under $80. I don't know how much really of a difference Israel is going to make to oil so far. This entire conflict, it really hasn't done much.
Yeah, nothing, especially not compared to like what Ukraine. So Trump had a couple things to say about the hostage situation.
Let's see it.
This is from November 25th, so it's from over the weekend. But here's the first one I have on my screen. Hamas now wants a better deal for hostages. This is not going to end well. And then the other,
that was how long ago was that?
25th. This was on Saturday.
2 days ago. Oh yeah, that was popular there for a while. That Hamas isn't holding up their end of the bargain or whatever. Which I mean, it's not surprising, a terrorist group, but it seems like that's okay. We're past that, fortunately, already. But this is very, very Trumpian to jump in and like, see, look, the deal that was negotiated, it's already failing. Joe Biden and crooked Hillary already failing again. I don't know why I threw Hillary in that.
He's to expand on it. Has anyone noticed that Hamas has returned people from other countries, but so far has not returned 1 American hostage? Obviously, this didn't age too well.
We have now returned 1.
Yeah. There's only one reason for that. No respect for our country or our leadership. This is a very sad and dark period of America. Do you think Hamas didn't return American citizens because they don't respect America, or do you think they just had fewer American citizens?
Probably fewer, and they're more valuable, so you'll probably keep those to the end. Because like, think about it. If you return all the hostages except the 5 final Americans, let's just say, right? This is still going to be pretty valuable because America's got the purse. The refill is coming for Israel. So absolutely, the Americans are some of the most highly prized possessions. It shouldn't be that way. It should be a life is a life, but it just is the way because America's the strongest economy in the world and the strongest power in the world. But whatever.
I couldn't find any more recent truths than these because he stopped talking after the hostages started getting released. But that was Trump's take on it.
Yep. That's that makes sense. I want to know how his fundraising is doing. We've been a little quiet here. I feel like with some court updates. We need to get some more like Trump juice. I do know that Gavi Wavy, and DeSanctimonious, they are having a debate. I'm going to cover that. I'm going to cover that probably on. I don't know, probably on MK Live. I'm still trying to figure it out. Just subscribe to all the channels because why not? But anyway, that's the 30th. Sean Hannity, Newsom, DeSantis debate. I'm not exactly sure the time. I'm sure it'll be prime time between 7 and 8 p.m. California time or whatever. But Sean Hannity, Newsom debate. That'll be really interesting. And then Powell speaks Friday at a college. Both of those will be quite interesting. So I'm excited about that.
And the next Republican debate's next Wednesday.
Oh, who's hosting this one?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, that would be the Republican debate 4. The viewership on that has gone straight down. You've gone from 12 million to 9 million to 7 million views. So you've definitely had a precipitous decline in views on the these debates because Trump's not there. Imagine if Trump were there. You know what I would have is a lot of fun. That would be so entertaining. If Trump were there.
Trump's smart to not go.
Oh, of course. Of course he is. But I'm sad. On the inside,
yeah.
I want the chaos.
Next one's going to be News Nation.
News Nation. Okay. All right. Interesting. And who's going to be there at that one? I wonder if somebody else got cut because the last debate, they cut a bunch of them. And you were down to really Vivek and Nikki Haley. So it looks like News Nation's debate, December 6th. It's you're gonna have Megyn Kelly as one of the moderators. Ooh, that'll be interesting.
Fun. Okay,
she's gone on to do, I think, YouTube now.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a lot of like a YouTube podcast and stuff like that. But yeah, that primary debate. Let's see who's gonna be on it because that is fascinating. So yeah, Tim Scott dropped out. Okay, yeah, we knew that. Okay, okay, so this will include, here it is, DeSantis, Haley, Ramaswamy, Christie. Oh, Burgum's coming back and Hutchinson are coming back. Wait, less than 2 months before though the latter two did not make it to the third debate stage. Wait, it doesn't say who's going to be on this debate stage. Whatever.
Which one is this, number 4 or 5?
This is going to be 4.
Yeah, okay.
This is the 4th debate. And I don't know why they're making it so difficult to figure out who's going to be on it. But anyway, we'll watch that too. I find the debates entertaining, especially the Haley Vivek.
Those are so Vivek fun. Opened so hot last time.
Yeah, I mean,
attacking the host.
He knows that's how he gets views, and he gets fuel off of mostly Twitter from that. Like Twitter eats this guy up. They love him. And Mitt Romney the other day, he was in an interview and suggested, I like any of the Republicans except that Vivek guy. And then he kind of keeps going. Like he called out Vivek for specifically being the person he would not want.
But see, all that does is someone then's going to look up like, what are Vivek's opinions? And then like half of them are going to like it, half of them won't.
That's true. Yeah. Generally in politics, you're net up.
Yeah.
The more name recognition you have, you're net up. Even if people don't agree with everything. So you're not wrong. Well, yeah, all right.
I'm excited to watch them.
It'll be fun.
If you stream them, I'll watch it. Okay, so got a little bit more on Israel. This one is cryptocurrency adjacent. So, we've been talking about how Hamas has been using cryptocurrency to fund themselves. And not just Hamas, but a lot of the other militants backed by Iran, like Hezbollah and stuff too. Well, they've switched. They don't use Bitcoin as much anymore. They're using another cryptocurrency called Tron.
Oh, wow.
Because I think they just found a random one that's just cheaper as far as transaction costs and faster than Bitcoin. Because, Bitcoin's really bulky.
Yeah.
And so I have some information, some stats here. Israel's National Bureau for Counter-Terror Financing, the NBCTF, froze 143 Tron wallets since July of 21, which they believe are connected with a designated terrorist organization and used for terror or crime.
How do they do that? Because like if it's the only way you could freeze a wallet, I feel like, is if the wallet like essentially tries to transact on an exchange. Because if I have a wallet, like even a physical wallet right here, and we make an exchange, much like, Bitcoin, here's my address, here's your address. There's nobody between us. So how can anybody freeze that? Now, if I go to send my money to Coinbase, frozen.
Yeah, I think it's because these wallets aren't cold storage. It's not the same as holding it on a USB. It's you're trusting a website to hold it.
Okay.
And sure, it's not regulated, but it's still
somebody must have control over it.
A 3-letter organization shows up and goes, close these wallets, and they go, okay.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So a bunch of them, almost 2/3 of Israel's Tron seizures, which there were 87 of this year, were due to crime. There's been a lot of people I've been seeing, well, not a lot of people, but a handful of people complaining like, hey, my Tron wallet got closed here in the US. And it's like, well, did you send money to terrorists? They go, well, one transaction might have made its way.
What?
So don't send money to sketchy terrorist organizations online, or your wallet might get shut down.
Well, in fairness, I kind of agree with that. Like, don't fund terrorists.
Don't fund terrorists.
And I get it. It's like, oh, we want decentralized currency. I get that. Like, there has to be somewhat of a balance there. It's like, can we have decentralized currency and no terrorist funding? That would be nice. Can we just have both?
No, I think that just undermines how decentralized cryptocurrency works. In this case, like someone says, isn't this one a scam? I don't know. Most of them are probably. I don't know. But I think they just chose a random one that was cheap and easy to transfer. I don't think they were like, I don't think they're Tron to the moon. I think
nobody will be paying attention to Tron.
Right. Right. So
I'm surprised they haven't used like Cardano yet, or Dogecoin, just for the memes.
Doge for the meme. Oh my God.
Oh, that would be funny.
That would probably start a rally.
Probably.
Like, I know that's like crazy, but it probably would.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the terrorists are using Doge to the moon.
Remember, that was the debate for like anti-Bitcoin. It's like, well, the terrorists are going to use this. And people were like, cool. Like, invest. Everyone's using this.
It must be really secure then.
Yeah.
It was the thesis. That's
so,
true.
But in total, Israel's been closing tons of it. Over 600 have been closed so far. Not just Tron, but all kinds of cryptocurrencies. They haven't specified what kind of cryptocurrencies they've closed, but yeah, don't send money to terrorists.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask GPT, how does what's the organization called? Israel Freeze Tron Wallets.
This is
functionally
Israel's National Bureau for Counter-Terror Financing.
Wow, counter-terror financing. Let's see what GPT. Oh God, GPT now says, Pinwheel doing research with Bing, bro. What good are you?
It's been slow. It still gives great answers, and I like that they're finally up to date. Not like my information only goes back to April.
In fairness, that's true. That is true. That's really annoying. If it could throw in maybe some updated recent information, maybe it's worth waiting a little bit longer. But I got a check mark. Okay. They've been actively targeting freezing Tron wallets as part of efforts to combat the funding of militant groups. That totally makes sense. Okay. But I want to know how. This shift towards focusing on Tron wallets arises from the observation that militant groups previously favoring Bitcoin are increasingly turning to Tron. The reasons cited for this shift include Tron's faster transaction times, lower fees, and stability, as you have said.
Makes sense.
The process of freezing wallets involves identifying and targeting wallets believed to be connected to a designated or terrorist organization or used for terror crimes. Okay, they froze 143 between, see the updated information, July 2021 and October 23. A significant number of these seizures were linked to groups like Hezbollah and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, as well as those related to Hamas. The blockchain technology underlying cryptocurrencies like Tron maintains a public ledger that records the value of transactions and the addresses involved. That's fine, but that's all the public keys. That's just the public information. While the ledger is public, there we go. Identifying the real identity of the individuals is challenging. Yes, we know that. Okay, so then they have like labs and organizations that try to search for these wallets. Okay, but these don't tell me. Once they find a wallet they believe is connected to terrorism, how do they freeze it? Watch, it's going to come back and go, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we'll figure it out.
I think it's just like a matter of like a cease and desist, or maybe.
But to whom? If it's maybe, and I don't know really anything about Tron. Maybe Tron's not decentralized. If it's not,
that's
I don't
possible.
know. If there's a central organization running Tron, like ADA. Like, I guess theoretically, if you have ADA, the SEC or whatever could go to Charles Hoskinson and be like, freeze that guy's account. But then I don't know. Then that makes it like, why would they have used that in the first place as opposed to DeFi tokens?
There's some cryptocurrencies. I remember one that I had a couple years ago. I think I'm still hodling it. But there was one kind of smaller altcoin that once you buy it, you couldn't store it on the exchanges because like Coinbase and all these entities didn't have a way to store it yet. So you had to like open up a wallet with a third party that only makes wallets for these. And then you basically hold it. So I think that's why it's not cold storage. Like at the end of the day, it's still on a server somewhere.
Yeah, it must be. It must be. They make the validators not accept transactions. Oh,
gotcha.
interesting.
So the money stays there. They just can't do anything.
So that is interesting. Thank you, Scott. So this is like in staking or even just in Bitcoin mining, you try to initiate a transaction, but you're basically telling all the miners or the staking pools, this address you must not validate for, and then your transaction probably just pinwheels forever. Why does it, like in 4 conversations now with GPT, has it not been able to say what Scott, who loves me, Scott, everything I say Scott loves, it's not true, was able to tell me that in like 7 words? That's okay. That's very interesting. Okay, well now we know. So we figured that out together. That's very interesting. Somebody else says here, Tron is the most popular for stablecoins and stablecoin yields. The companies that provide wallets that aren't decentralized will have your information that can be given to the Alphabet Boys. That's funny. They're
the Alphabet Boys.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that phrase a lot. The Alphabet Boys. That's cool.
Okay.
Charles can't do anything about my ADA. Okay, but I suppose theoretically, if what Scott is saying is correct, your address could be blocked from the pools, and your transactions might not get validated on ADA. So you're stuck with your ADA. So you still have the money, just can't use it. Okay.
You'd probably want to, not advice for terrorists, but what you'd probably want to do is after you receive the money.
Not terrorism advice.
Yeah, not terrorism advice. But after you get the cryptocurrency, you'd probably want to pull it out and put it on cold storage. And then next time you send it out or use it, you'll probably want to use a different wallet that hasn't been used for anything yet.
Yeah.
Because if you keep it dormant in the wallet that's already been connected to crimes, like
then you could sell it for like 80 cents on the dollar with like an envelope and a USB stick.
Maybe even more, because at the end of the day, it's physical. It's even more secure. Like no one sees it. It might even be more than 8 cents on the dollar. Oh, that's you're taking the risk, I guess. Well, then someone will leave a bad review to your terrorist organization. Yeah, man, it's been crazy what's happening over there. The sad thing is that it's been extending to the U.S. with obviously rise in anti-Semitism and like anti-Islam. I don't know if you heard, but on Saturday in Vermont, there were 3 Palestinian students that were shot. And one of them's in critical condition. 2 of them are in the ICU.
Jesus Lord, it's just terrible. Like what? Like I think this. These shooters or whatever. They think that this is like their like God-given mission or whatever to go kill. It's just so wrong. It's just not the way society should work. It's terrible.
Yeah. For this one, they're saying like they're not ruling out hate crime, obviously, because it probably is, but they don't know the reasoning behind it. So who knows why? It could just be a random crazy.
Right. Randomly happened to shoot 3 Palestinians.
They were wearing traditional Palestinian scarves. This was Thanksgiving. They were visiting one of their grandmas.
See, but I wouldn't do that either. Like if if I'm Jewish and there's a Palestinian parade, am I going to walk over there with a Jewish flag? No, I'm going to roll that sucker up and just try to be invisible because I ain't going to win. It's just not worth it. Is it really worth walking around in with a Palestinian flag or whatever through a Jewish neighborhood? You're just going to get harassed. You're just asking for it.
Yeah, if you go through the wrong neighborhood, I agree. Yeah. But the counterpoint is, it's almost like you're letting them win.
That is true. So, like, for example, a Jewish family who's going to walk to the, synagogue, are they not supposed to wear, the hair in the way that they do, which is a tradition, a Jewish tradition? I'm not fully well versed in all this, but, are they not supposed to be able to bring their yarmulkes or whatever because somebody else might hate them? That's also effed up. So you got a good point about that. Now, I would choose not to walk through the Palestinian block.
Sure. Yep. And in general too, like it's safety comes first. It's just there's that little bit of, you don't want to let them win either. We want to show them we're proud. We're not afraid.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, that's been sad. They showed up with a warrant for the guy, and he said, what did he say? He said, "I've been waiting for you." Yeah, I've been waiting for you for the
Creepy.
ATF that showed up, the alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
Yeah.
They showed up. He's like, I've been waiting for you. So he knew he
A psycho,
up.
man.
Yeah, psycho.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. ChatGPT, dude, AI has been getting crazy. This is the last topic I have for the day is how crazy AI has been getting. I want to show you something on X here.
Ooh, X?
X.
X. X. I don't know
just
what's
Twitter.
X.
It's
Twitter.
just
Twitter.
Twitter.
It's Twitter. Yeah.
It feels like it should be a
I can't
inappropriate
say post.
app, right?
Yeah. I still say tweet. I can't get to post. I think it's just going to take years to get used to that.
I find myself intentionally using tweet and Twitter just because to avoid confusion in conversation.
Oh, absolutely. But then the hardcore OG is, the Elon rubber matters. They get mad.
All right, let him get mad. Okay, so this is crazy. This is a thread this guy made with some really cool things. So in this video, the top is creating an image using Midjourney, and then the bottom is using Runway's motion brush to turn that into an animation. And these two work together so well. Like, look how crazy this is.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that would take a long time to animate manually. And to make it look that real, that was good. Oh, holy crap. Wow.
We are not far away from
movies.
Full movies.
Oh my!
It's the last one. I'm like, why do they highlight all the difference? Oh, because of all the smoke and the fog coming in.
Wow, that's really cool.
There's a couple on here. The memes.
Oh, they're bringing the memes to life.
Yeah, the memes are coming to life. Whole music video.
Oh, the fire one.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, look how happy he is. That's brilliant.
Let's watch this. This is a 1-minute trailer for a movie that doesn't exist. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a little goofy. I finished it and I was like, I want to watch this movie.
Wait, what? Oh my God.
That's a sick car. It doesn't even exist, but that was cool.
AI did this? Wow. Okay. Right now I'm watching like the 1994 Star Warses. And now I'm just comparing this to that. And I'm like, what the hell?
It's crazy.
That's so good.
It leaves room for debate because a lot of people are like, well, think about all the jobs this is going to take away.
Yeah.
A lot of artists get offended with this kind of technology.
Of course. I mean, but that's amazing. I think that probably somebody had to sound design that. I'm guessing you had a human do sound design, images like the people and the objects, the car and that, the short scenes like you kind of saw in Midjourney there where you animated the bird or animated the car. They show those for like 2 or 3 seconds, which is what you do during a trailer anyway. I think the average length of a scene in a trailer is like 1.8 seconds or something like that. It's very short and move. Yeah, you could theoretically take, what was it, a minute long? So you take 40 different scenes, then you animate them, sound design it to where when you get the dun 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 dun, you get the image transitions. You have a human put it together, but you didn't need a film crew. You didn't need models, human models. You didn't need physical models for like the planes or the spaceships or whatever, which are often done with physical models. It was all just Midjourney, please make this.
And to be honest, you could even set it up because there was a music video here that was also done with it, and a lot of the scene transitions happen when the 4 note, so to speak, on the measure.
Did it do that?
It doesn't
TBD,
say one way or another, but TBD. But
like the 1, 2, 3, 4.
It should be totally capable of doing that. There's no reason why it shouldn't.
I mean, I guess you're right. Like that's not that hard to sync that up. You're right. That I guess I'm just thinking like, how would I do it without knowing how to do that? What would I do to put that thing together? What I described. if there's something that can do that, which I'm sure there is, that's fantastic. That's really interesting.
I think it's a net win. Like, I know it sucks that people are going to go out of work and all that, but at the end of the day, this is so much more power for every individual creator.
Well, eventually, you know, they're just probably, we'll just be in little pods, you know, and like AI will just do all the work for us, and we'll just be sitting in pods, and you know, that's your life, I guess, is pod life. I don't know. I kind of I don't know that I would look forward to that. I kind of like the progress and the challenges of what we have right now, but I also don't like the suffering and the war and people dying and stuff. So I don't know. It's a balance, I guess.
Can I show you one more thing?
Hell yeah.
All right. So this is I've kind of been going down this rabbit hole on ChatGPT of asking for an image and then asking it for it to do more of something. So let me show you what's on my screen.
Okay.
I was like, make an image of a little bird.
Okay.
Right? Photogenic bird. It's a cute little bird.
It's amazing. It's just such an amazing photo. Like the beautiful colors of the bird. I mean, we know it's not real. Those legs are way too small.
Yeah.
But it looks cool.
I was like, make it cuter.
No way.
It gives me this. Hey, let's keep going. I go, make it cuter. And I just kept going. Yeah. So like, I just showed a couple more examples. Lion, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, make it scarier.
Oh, wow.
Make it scarier.
Oh my god.
Dude, these last couple. And then the last one, like, this had me like shaking. This is nightmare fuel.
Oh wow.
And I think you'll enjoy this one. I was like, do San Francisco in the future. So here's San Francisco in the future.
Nah, I can't be San Francisco in the future. I thought it was gonna be just dirt.
I was like, make it more futuristic, right? Here we are, we're growing. Make it more futuristic. It gave me this.
Jeez.
And then I go, one last one, make it more futuristic than that. And then I end it with, now add crime. So anyway, that's been my hobby today, is like make it more, and just watching the iterations go through. It's been a blast.
Now add crime. That's such a great line. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I think it's time for our outro music.
Sounds good.
With that said, make sure to go to meetkevin.com. Check out the Cyber Monday specials. Make sure to email us at staff@meetkevin.com. Mikey and McKay will be helping. I'll be in there too. Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, licensed real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is neither personalized financial nor real estate advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. The video provides generalized perspective, market commentary, information, and otherwise. I personally operate and actively manage ETF, hold long positions in various securities, including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuers other than HouseHack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. None of the third-party content we show in this video shall be deemed endorsed by us, and this video shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purpose of evaluating a security or investment decision. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.